Hi, welcome to KiwaniTalk. We're a public information show put together by people from the Dearborn Kiwanis Club with lots of help from students and staff here at Dearborn High School. My name is Gary Gardner. This is my alma mater. I'm back here at Dearborn High School. And by the way, KiwaniTalk is the longest running cable access television program in the entire world. We're very happy to be back here at Dearborn High. And we're talking about things that involve students and Kiwanis and all those things put together. And to help us talk about that, we have two students who are presidents in their own rights. We have the president of the Dearborn High School Key Club and the president of the Fordson High School Key Club. Fordson High School Key Club, the closest to me, is Malaak Jadallah. Malaak, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Katia Deebajah, who is the president of the Dearborn High Key Club. Ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. You can say, come on, Katia, you can say something too.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So I'm going to start with you because you appear to be the furthest away from me. So Katia, what grade are you in, and how did you get to be the president of the Dearborn High Key Club?
So I'm in the 12th grade, and so my sister was a part of Key Club, and the year she graduated, I started out as a freshman, so we just missed each other. But she kind of inspired me to join the club, and as I joined it, I decided that I really want to go further with it. So junior year, I ran for vice president, and then senior year, I ran for president. Yeah. Okay,
and how about you, Malaak? How did you get into the Key Club at Fordson?
So I'm currently a junior at Fordson High School, and I was able to get my position as president, I think, for the fact that I was webmaster during my sophomore year.
So, Katia, before your sister was part of it,
mm-hmm.
but before you became part of it, what did you understand that Kiwanis, and in particular what Key Club, what did you think it was about?
I understood that it was a community service-based club, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what is community service-based club? Well, what did you think that meant, other than the fact that it's a community service-based club?
I know that there were events where people would volunteer, and they would be really fun events too, because my sister used to go to them and she would have a lot of fun. Yeah.
So Malaak, before you actually got involved, did you have a big sister, brother, someone that was involved with it?
So I actually had a sister. She just graduated this year, but she was active in Key Club since her freshman year, and I was in 8th grade when she was in 10th grade. So I was able to see her go to SLC and all these events, and it really inspired me because I was in NJHS for middle school, and I liked helping out the community also. So I was really looking forward to Key Club.
So you just threw out two acronyms that I'm not really sure of. The one was the SLC. What is that?
SLC is a event that happens every year for Key Club, where we get to go all over places in Michigan where we get to meet with other Key Clubs districtly, if that makes sense.
Okay, and with the MJHS, what was that?
NJHS is National Junior Honor Society. It's a program for students in middle school where they get to help out the community through a club in their middle school.
Okay, so right now we've been talking about all the fun things that you get to do, but there's the community service part of it. What was your understanding of the community service side of Key Club and Kiwanis?
So what I understood was there are people in need that need help and support by their community, and NJHS, SLC, through SLC and all these other events, we were able to help out these people and find opportunities to make our community stronger and better.
Now, one of the things that both of you have gone through was the COVID, and I'm going to imagine that, Katia, that COVID made it a little more difficult to get together for meetings and events. Tell us about what happened then.
Yeah, so when I was a sophomore, that's when we were in quarantine, and they used to do Zoom meetings, and the president would speak along with the other board members. And there were some events here and there, but we were limited because of COVID, and we couldn't see each other in person, obviously, one of the limits. But we still had fun. SLC did go on, but it was online. Yeah, it was nice that we could still experience that, even though it was online, and you still got hours for it, just like any other event.
This is a side thing. I do Zoom hearings all the time in my job. I'm an attorney.
Okay.
Did you have to sit in front of cameras all day long for school and then come to Key Club stuff? Tell us about that, Malaak.
Yeah, so I remember I wanted to join clubs and I wasn't really able to see all the all the clubs that were available, but I remember Key Club being very active. It was, we always had bi-weekly meetings every other Thursday, and I was able to just participate because it was always active, and we even had opportunities online, like free rice, where we would be able to get community service by doing an online website, which was like doing math to get grains of rice earned for
Credit for something that makes you...
it goes to the people who need food, so it just goes there.
Okay. So, and you said before you were the webmaster. Are you good at that stuff?
Yeah, so I became webmaster during my sophomore year, and I was able to post on Instagram, Twitter, and on Remind, bring past opportunities to the members of Key Club.
So Katia, at Dearborn High School, and we have a little competition now, we're going to get the numbers here. How many Key Club members are there at Dearborn High School? And you're going to come up with a number next, Malaak.
Okay, so there are close to 200 paid members in the club. So what we have is a Remind, and each grade, there's a Remind class that they join. So like if you're a freshman, you join the Remind class, and then November 8th was the cutoff to pay, and then all the people that didn't pay were moved out of the club because, of course, like when we register our members, we have to show that they paid. And so that is why we say paid members. So there are close to 200 members that are paid.
Yeah, and how about you, Malaak? How many at Fortson?
So at Fortson we have, I want to say, approximately 117 members.
Yes, my school is winning, yes.
We are trying to get our member activity up and have more participation, so that's what we're working on this year, and hopefully it works.
So how often, Katia, does the Dearborn High School Key Club meet?
So we meet every Monday after school in the cafeteria. Yeah.
And how many people show up for the meetings?
Close to 100. Yeah.
That's pretty good. So you get 50% turnout. I wish we could get that good a meeting at my Kiwanis Club meeting, and I'm not the one of those that supports that very much myself. But how about you, Malaak? How many show up at the Fortson meetings, and how often do you guys meet?
So we meet bi-weekly every other Thursday, and I'd say on average we have about 30 to 40 members arrive.
Okay. So part of we talked about the organization, and what is the actual structure and organization of Key Clubs at Dearborn High and then Fortson? What is how you got members, you've got board, you've got vice president, treasurer. How does that work out?
So we have president, we have vice president, we have our secretary, our treasurer, our webmaster, and our bulletin editor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the similar thing at Fortson, Malaak?
It's the same thing for us.
Okay, so someone's got a pattern and they're making sure that it works and carries through. So you talked about events, and what kind of events do you have? Do you have fundraising events, do you have community service events, do you have fun events, or do you have all of the above?
Yeah, pretty much all of the above. So October, for Dearborn High at least, is our busiest month because there are so many events that go on that are associated with Halloween. And so we worked with about 4 elementary schools hosting they hosted and then they invited us to volunteer. They hosted a Halloween event. So one of them was at Lindbergh, it's called Fall Fest. And then another one at Whitmore Bowls. And it was kind of like a boo bash. It was really fun. And I think that the members really enjoy volunteering during Halloween because those events tend to be the funnest. Yeah.
How about the schedule at Fortson, Malaak?
So currently we have, I feel like December is the busiest for us so far out of the months that we went through because we have a Christmas party coming up where we're gonna we need 23 volunteers, and it's gonna be December 10th. On the same day of Reconnect, so we're gonna figure out who wants to go to the Christmas party to help volunteer and for Reconnect. And
what's Reconnect?
So Reconnect is where we get to meet. It's a little smaller than Fall Rally, which is like where you meet with other Key Club schools and just get to volunteer and help out through just communicating and being in an area where you get to talk with other schools. And Reconnect happens annually.
Every year.
Every year.
How about
yes.
that? It's a much easier word to say.
Yeah.
So there's something said in passing about helping community people outside of the schools and things like that, people that need some kind of help. What kind of component of Key Club is that? Is it just the schools you guys help with, or help community organizations or people, charities that have need? Do you help out with other types of things?
Okay. So currently there's a club at Fortson called People for Palestine, and they need money, so we're doing Miracle Minute at Fortson Key Club to help fundraise money for People for Palestine.
Okay, so Miracle Minute, what is that?
So we go to every lunch. We have 3 lunches at Fortson. So for a minute, we announce before we go to collect money. We announce that we're going to be doing Miracle Minute, which is where we collect money for a minute to fundraise.
Okay. How about at Dearborn High? What kind of, do you do fundraising here too?
So most of our events take place outside of Dearborn High, but we do have some at Dearborn High. I know one year we did a bake sale during parent-teacher conferences, and we did really well with that. And then it was like kind of split into 2 shifts. So there was a shift where you get hours to bake the homemade desserts because we wanted them home baked. So every volunteer that signed up made something. And then we had the second shift, which were the volunteers that helped sell those baked goods.
So many, many decades ago when I was here at Dearborn High, we didn't have to do this community service sort of thing. Is there a requirement for community service, or does it help you for your resume, or what's the emphasis on community service?
So, you know, if you want to get community service hours, then, you know, Key Club is the best club to join, at least at Dearborn High, because you have many opportunities. And if you're in the club, you're not forced to volunteer. And mostly people that do it, they do it because they want to get those hours, and they do it for their resume because, yeah, it looks good. And then some people do it just because they really enjoy it.
How about your experience with that, Malaak?
For me personally?
Yeah.
So personally, I really just wanted to help out the community in any way that I could. But also it does look good on like college applications, which is just a bonus. But I just really like the fact that Key Club was a great way for me to hit like 2 birds with 1 stone.
So do you think some of the people who come into the Key Club knowing I've got to get these community service hours to get my resume built up, and then they start to like it and maybe feel good, like not the Grinch, their heart grew a couple extra sizes when they were doing it?
Yeah. There are some people like that, like, yeah, once they do an event, they're like, oh, I like this, and then they just start signing up for all the events, and they really enjoy it, and they tell me about it, and like that makes me happy because, like, I like volunteering, and the events are so fun. Yeah.
Same experience with you, Malaak?
So yeah, I feel like no matter what intention you come in to help out, I feel like at the end you learn something new, and it just kind of like opens your heart to just want to keep helping and do more. Because once you see like a person's reaction, or you feel like you did something nice, you're gonna want to do more of that because it made you feel good.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a little break here. We're going to get a couple of words in about Kiwanis. We're going to come back and continue our conversation with Katia Deebajah, president of the Dearborn High Key Club for Kiwanis, and Malaak Jadallah, president of the Fortson High Key Club. We'll get some more battles going on here with membership and events. We'll get that going. But don't go away. We'll be right back after this break.
Let's say you're looking for your place in the world, which is a pretty big deal itself, right?
Yeah, but let's say you also get plenty of pressure about making choices. What to major in, where to live, who to join.
And these are important choices and everything, but what if you're looking for something, I don't know, more?
Well, what does that mean? What does more look like to you? Maybe it's like a chance to get out in the world and serve, to make children's lives better, to improve the community around you, maybe even take your impact global.
Or wait, maybe it's more like a chance to lead. You've got the skills. You're a person who gets things done, who helps other people accomplish stuff too. And maybe you're thinking, it's time to develop those skills.
Yeah, but then again, maybe you like fellowship. You know, the whole putting our heads together thing. You want people you can work with, people you have fun with, people who inspire you and who you inspire too.
Okay, so let's say it's time to choose. And you're wondering, well, which one? And that's the thing, because you know what? It's a trick question. So
The real answer is you don't have to choose just one. You're not looking for a door to go through. You're not looking for a box to fit into. You're not looking for a simple, narrow, whatever.
right, you're looking for a place, and that's a whole different thing.
It's a place on campus, a place in your community, a place in the world.
So here's the place, Circle K International.
We call it CKI. It's an organization for college students.
It's the world's largest student-led collegiate service organization. It has clubs on nearly 500 campuses.
And it has room for you.
For all the stuff that makes you who you are.
And who you want to be.
Service, leadership, fellowship.
In other words, Circle K International.
Looking for your place in the world? Join the club. Find out about CKI.
Welcome back to KiwaniTalk. I'm your host, Gary Gardner, as we continue our discussion about Kiwanis and Key Club and Dearborn High School, Fordson High School, the battle of the schools here going on. To help us talk about it, we have Malaak Jadallah, who is the president of the Fordson High School Key Club, and we have Katia, Deebajah, who is the president of Dearborn High Ladies. Welcome back after the break. So you've been part of this organization and you knew what it was, but you've risen through the ranks and become El Primos, the El Presidentes. And so what have you learned, Malaak, about leadership and responsibility from your role as rising through the ranks at the Fordson Key Club?
So what I feel like I learned the most this year, so far, is you need to learn how to balance your academic and your club parts of life, because if you you need to kind of make some sacrifices as you go, if you will be able to volunteer for an event or if you will sit down and do your chemistry homework for an hour. And I feel like that really taught me how to manage my time and prioritize what I think is important and what I think I could manage later on.
So you mentioned you were in the National Honor Society in junior high. That hasn't gone away, has it? I still hope you're in the National Honor Society now.
Yeah.
Okay, I was worried about Kiwanis taken away from all of that. But how about you, Katia? What have you learned about leadership and management of people and your time?
Having 3 classes this year, it helped me put a lot of time towards Key Club, and so I'm not limited to I have to do my homework, and it's not like I have time, so I am balancing the two, but
Okay.
it's not that difficult. I thought it was going to be, but if I had 6 classes a day, yeah, that would be pretty hard.
So how about herding, herding cats, herding your members and getting them to get the things like that? How do you, but you have contact, you have the online information, and you mentioned some things before we started, all these apps that you can get out, reach out to people. How does that help you keep in contact with your members?
It helps. So the Remind app, I'm able to send out a message and all of the members get it. And that's the best way to communicate with my members. And then also during the meeting, I give out a lot of information because they are informational meetings.
So, and you have a meeting every Monday, and
yeah.
what kind of stuff, doesn't it get boring every Monday coming up with meetings, or is there plenty to talk about?
There is a lot to talk about. So one thing I present, because I do PowerPoints, I create one for every Monday. We thank the volunteers who have volunteered from the past events that maybe have happened over the past week, and we have them stand up during the meeting, and then everyone gives them a round of applause. And also I go over the events that are currently posted on Remind, and then I also talk about chairman's role, because there's a chairman for every event. And we also talked about logging service hours And yeah, and then we actually, just this past Monday, we had an event after the meeting. So it was actually like at Dearborn High in the cafeteria, and we decorated Christmas cards for senior citizens, so that was nice.
Very good. So Malaak, the communication, a webmaster, you know how to do all this stuff, but what utilities do you use to keep up with your membership?
So we also use Remind. We always have links and Google Forms for our members to fill out for opportunities for them to volunteer. And we also post on our socials on Instagram and Twitter, where they could also see more opportunities. And we also post when they participate. So we just thank them on Remind and Twitter.
So if I do the math, if I can still add up at my advanced decrepit age, 200 plus 176 is 376 members between the two schools. How many hours, if you have any idea, do those 376 members, what do you think are going to put in over the course of this school year? What do you expect per member to put out? Then we can do the math on that.
So we have a goal of 50 hours in total for the end of the school year for every member.
Okay.
And they have to reach that criteria to become a member next year.
So if you do 50 times 400 is 20,000 hours, or a little bit less than that. So you guys are putting a lot of effort and a lot of community time out into the community.
Yep.
What's your club's goal for hours?
We don't have a specific goal.
Fortson won there. So.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of like a self-motivated thing. Like I was saying earlier, like if you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, you just don't. But I think that we always have people that volunteer, so that's why we don't force that upon anyone. Like someone always takes a step up and volunteers. So most of our events are full, so that's why we don't force it.
Okay, so as presidents, you're looking down not from on high, but from an equal level, but from a position of observation. What kind of changes do you see in the people who become members and see their individual growth and their developments? What have you seen from any notable, not names, but people that sort of you think about, Malaak?
So I feel like currently this year, all the freshmen are they're still new to Fortson, right? And so they're able to, once they join Key Club, they're able to see so many opportunities. And I feel like they look very inspired and happy about it all. And they just want to jump at everything, which makes me very happy and glad that they want that.
Okay, and how about your development and
Yeah.
your because that's part of being a leader is to get your people to come up.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, the freshmen are the most eager out of all grades. Yeah, they do want to just jump at everything, and it's good for our club because we have someone volunteering and we have people that are willing to step up. And then from freshman year, they get inspired, and they just keep doing it. That's what keeps them in Key Club for the rest of their high school years.
So part of leadership too is not just developing your members, but your board and your vice presidents. So how does Key Club and how have you learned to manage your vice president and your secretary and your treasurer and your webmaster? How have you learned to deal with those things?
So for the webmaster this year, I'm able to help her find easy methods to so we use a website, Canva. So I help her organize the information in a way that looks appealing for the members. And for the vice president, if she ever needs help making documents or Google Forms, because I don't make just the webmaster or the bulletin editor make the Google Forms. I like to spread it evenly. So sometimes the vice president has to do that. And if she ever needs help, I'm here for her.
So you just told me exactly how you're being a leader by your delegating the work out there and kind of watching over top of it. What have you learned about delegating and those type of things at this point, Katia?
Of course, president does a lot of work, but yeah, my members are always there helping, and I'll ask them to do something and they'll do it, and we'll work on it together. And everyone knows their place. Everyone pretty much does their tasks, and yeah, so.
So right now we're filming this at the beginning of December at the end of 2022. We've got about 5 months really to go before the end of the year. What major events or big goals for things does Malaak have for Fortson High School's Key Club?
So currently for Key Club, we're really focused on December right now because we have so many opportunities, but we do look forward to going to SLC and Reconnect is coming up, so we're getting ready for that. And we also we had a service project last year, and we really want to repeat that, but we might just fundraise money this year, but we still haven't found an organization to give it to. So.
Okay, and how about Dearborn High? What are the big plans that after you get past the Christmas, New Year's time? What are you going to be doing next year?
Next year, yeah, SLC is going on, and then we have like about 3 to 4 leadership events that go on during the year. And I know not just SLC happens, we have another one, and it took place at Melvindale last year actually. And maybe like if you can't make it to SLC, you attend that one, yeah.
So, the Key Club is the organization of Kiwanis that's at the high school level. What's the next level beyond Key Club, if you guys know? Hopefully you can. What?
Circle K.
Okay, I mean, you'd have to. We're telling the audience. I knew the answer. I want to know if you knew. Okay. So when you go into college, do you think there'd be consideration for keeping up with Kiwanis for Circle K?
Yeah, so I do want to do Circle K in my college years, and I do look forward to that. I just hope my the college that I get accepted to has it, because I know my sister. She's in.
Okay. So
Let's just go.
college is a good thing. Not everybody wants to go to college. I'm still not sure what I want to be when I grow up, but what I don't. What do you want to do after high school?
So after high school, I look forward to going to a university or college, and I would like to also be active in Circle K if that's available.
And how about you, Katia? Do you want to continue with Kiwanis as you go along?
Yeah, if I can. And yeah, I would also like to attend a university or college after this year.
Any ideas what areas of study, what you want to do, or see, because parents say it's what you have to do, but there's something that you want to do, and if you do something you want to do, you're much better off. What would you want to do?
So currently, right now, this year, I'm interested in biology and chemistry. So anything STEM based, I'm not sure what yet, but I'm looking towards the STEM path.
Okay. Anything that is you're interested in that you would like to pursue?
I did do a couple shadowing jobs during the summer, but I haven't found something I want to do. But I probably will figure it out soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no rush because you've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank the two of you. I want to thank Malaak, Jadallah from Fordson High School Key Club, overachiever, National Honor Society, president and as a junior. And I want to thank Katia, Deebajah, president from Dearborn High School. Yes, we had more members, so we did that. You guys are doing a great job, and it really, it's a wonderful thing to be part of a club and organization and to be giving back to the community, which is part of the reason I've been doing this, I've been doing this for long as I have. Thank you very much, ladies. Good luck to you, and hope that your club continues to grow, expand, and all the projects have more people than need to work on them.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in to KiwaniTalk. I'm Gary Gardner. See you again next time. Bye-bye.